It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
And yes, it is. It is just about 8:05 on a Tuesday morning. Tuesday. I think the best that can be said for Tuesday is, that's right, at least it's not Monday. So the beginning of the week is gone, and here we are smack in the work week. So, let me say, wow, another cold morning. This is June 4th, I think, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is the 4th of June. And we had an overnight low of 36. I don't know what it was here on Ashby Hill, but we had a low of 36. And when I left the house about, maybe 45 minutes ago, it was 37. 37 degrees. Well, it didn't snow last night, so I guess that's probably a good thing. I could have been worse. The flowers are looking just a little peaked right now. However, we are in for a stretch, at least a stretch of halfway good weather, as you heard Rob Carolyn there. So maybe it's getting better. Maybe it will actually become sort of spring and summer-like at some point here. Maybe. Anyway, however, it is a nice morning, just a little chilly. So let me see what's going on. Well, the legislative session in Albany is winding down. This was posted yesterday afternoon, so they say 11 working days left. I think there's 10 working days left now. So there's a lot of work to be done in Albany, and the atmosphere is kind of intensifying at the Capitol. Democrats who lead the legislature are facing pressure from all sides to do something that they campaigned on. They really haven't done a whole bunch at this point. Democrat Governor Andrew Cuomo, that's right, began the week yesterday with a news conference about the measures focusing on 4 women's issues that he says needs to be done before the session ends. The governor is seeking passage of an equal rights amendment for women in the state's constitution, strengthening the state's anti-sexual harassment laws, and extending the state's statute of limitations for reporting rape crimes, which is among the shortest time limit in the nation. I find that hard to believe. New York? And they should be extended. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about this. Let me see. There's no statute of limitations for murder. And rape is pretty close. I mean, it's pretty close. Maybe the victim's still alive, but look at what's been done. So I don't think there should be any time limit. But that's only me. I don't know. So they're going to see if they can extend the statute of limitations. And the governor wants to mandate that women in New York receive equal pay for equal work. That is a good thing. The measures are even more important, he says, now that the federal government, led by President Trump, is moving to take away women's rights. I don't think he's moved to take away equal pay for equal work. I don't think he's done anything along those lines. But there I agree with him too, at least in part. Because if a person's doing the same work another person's doing, and one person's a man and the other one's a woman, they should get equal pay. And that's the way it should have been all along. And why it wasn't, I really have no idea. I think it's kind of dumb. But equal pay for equal work, that too is very good. And Cuomo says New York should set the national standards for women's rights. It's vitally important that we make progress. Spokespersons for the Democrat-led Senate and Assembly say they do not oppose any of the bills. But Cuomo says he won't be assured of the legislators' support until they actually vote on the measures. Okay, that's good. And at a news conference yesterday, Cuomo confirmed that one item pushed by progressive groups, the legalization of marijuana for adult recreational use, is not likely to happen this session. And the governor and the Senate sponsor of the bill say the Senate does not currently have the votes to pass it. Cuomo, who has intervened with lawmakers in the past to get key items like gay marriage and gun control approved, says he does not think his influence would help much at this time. He says, I don't think it's feasible at this point. I don't think it matters much how much I push in 11 days. He said this yesterday. I think when the Senate says we don't have the votes, I take them at their word. And despite that, he says cannabis legalization remains one of his top 10 priorities for the end of the session. So that may or may not happen. They've been talking about in Albany about that for quite a long time now. And what else? Stanley Fritz, the citizen with Citizen Action, says he is disappointed. He says the governor said at the beginning of the session that he has a 100-day plan for marijuana legalization. Well, we're past 100 days, and Fritz says you can't just say you're going to do that and then decide to fall off because the wind blew a little differently today than it did yesterday. And Cassandra Frederick with the Drug Policy Alliance says it's not just the governor who is at fault. She says Democrat leaders in the Senate and Assembly haven't done anything either. So the issues that they've been putting forth to the forefront are not just maybe an idea, they're a demand. That's what she says. We've waited a very long time for this blue wave, and we expect results. So it goes on in Albany. Another measure on Cuomo's top 10 list is allowing undocumented immigrants to be granted driver's licenses. And that, too, faces an uncertain future. Now, I'm getting all this, by the way. I should have mentioned it. I don't know how I lost it here. Let me see. This is from WAMC. It's a radio station in the Albany area. He says another of his top 10 lists is allowing undocumented immigrants to be granted driver's licenses. And on Monday, which was yesterday, the State's Association of County Clerks voted to formally oppose the legislation. The county clerks would be the officials who would issue the licenses through the local Department of Motor Vehicles. In a statement, the association's president, Judith Hunter, says the offices don't have the staff to handle the estimated 200,000 new driver's license applications. 200,000. She says the employees are also not equipped to verify any foreign passports or other documents that are required to obtain the licenses. Erie County Republican Chair Nick Langworthy, who is scheduled to be elected the state GOP chair in July, in a visit to the Capitol, called the driver's license measure reckless. He says you are incentivizing law-breaking, and he predicts it'll make New York a haven for people who are coming here illegally. A spokesman for Cuomo, meanwhile, Jason Conwall, said in a statement that Langworthy's comments were fear-mongering, and he said the proposal would put New York in line with 12 other states and make our roads safer. And I still don't understand how granting a license would make the state's roads safer, but that's what's going on in Albany. So they have not a whole bunch of time left to get something done, and that's how it goes. That's how it goes in Albany. And what else is going on in New York State? Here we are. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, his first endorsement, comes from a small town in South Carolina. This is from, I believe, the Daily News. Mayor Bill de Blasio got his very first endorsement for President of the United States from the mayor of Orangeburg, South Carolina. I guess maybe in South Carolina, towns have mayors, because the headline is de Blasio's first endorsement comes from a small town, South Carolina mayor. So maybe towns in South Carolina have mayors. We don't in New York, but they do in South Carolina, I guess. Anyway, the population of Orangeburg is 13,000. And de Blasio had to work hard for the endorsement, making 3 trips to the tiny southern town before Mayor Michael Butler finally relented. Still, Butler wasn't exactly fulsome in his praise. He said, quote, "I believe he would do a good job." That's it. I believe he would do a good job, he told the Orangeburg Times and Democrat. And even the local newspaper couldn't help but poke a little fun at de Blasio. It said the third time's a charm, at least for New York Mayor Bill de Blasio. And the endorsement came as de Blasio and First Lady Shirlane McCray crashed the monthly meeting of the Orangeburg Democrat Party. So they crashed this monthly meeting, and that's when he got the endorsement. I don't know, did he threaten them or something? I have no idea. Anyway, Butler said, the mayor, his main message is putting working people first. And that's very important, said this guy. Let me see, in March, Butler, who doubles as the bishop of the town's Victory Tabernacle Deliverance Temple, inadvertently led de Blasio into his arms. during the choir's rendition of R. Kelly's I Believe I Could Fly. An awkward display that earned his honor a circle of criticism, seeming to condone the singer's misogynistic behavior. Anyway, so let me see. He's very glad that he got this endorsement, and he's also gotten another, like a semi-endorsement, from, guess who? Gloria Steinem. Gloria Steinem gave de Blasio highly qualified support earlier this week, saying he was among the top 4 candidates she'd maybe possibly on the outside chance endorse. So he's on Gloria Steinem's top 4 maybe possibly candidates that she would endorse. So there you go. That's how that's going in New York. And what else have we here? Tony Soprano's house. The Sopranos, probably one of the best series ever on TV. I missed the first 2 or 3 seasons, but then I watched about 30 seconds of one show and I instantly became a fan. What a great show. Absolutely great. So anyway, of course it's a fictional family, but the house, it says here, this is from the New York Times, the house that Tony Soprano called home is listed for sale 20 years after the show began. It's in North Caldwell, New Jersey. Not quite sure what that is, but anyway, it's in New Jersey. It's roughly 5,600 square feet. And it's where America's favorite fictional mobster scooped up his morning newspaper and swam with ducks, and is being listed for sale by the owners, Patty and Victor Recchia. The starting price is $3.4 million. A little steep, but anyway, $3.4 million. It's set on 1.5 acres. It includes the main house with 4 bedrooms, 4 full bathrooms, and a powder room, 2 two-car garages for a total of, 4 cars, and a detached 1-bedroom guest house. The property taxes, get this, the property taxes are $34,005 a year. That's the property tax on this thing here. $34,005 a year. The price is ambitious, it says here, for a neighborhood where comparable homes have sold for between $1.5 million and $2 million, according to Zillow. But Mr. Recchi is 65 years old, the owner of 4th-generation construction, which built the house, as well as more than 20 in the neighborhood where it's located, says the value exceeds the brick and mortar. He says these things can be quantified, but I don't think you can quantify the intrinsic value of this home. The house where Tony Soprano pulled into the long, curving driveway in the opening credits was both a frequent filming location and the inspiration for a meticulous replica of the interiors at Silver Cup Studios in Queens on Long Island. Scenes in the pilot episode were filmed in the home's kitchen, where viewers first met Tony's long-suffering wife, Carmela, and their children, AJ and Meadow. And Tony, the gangster with mommy issues, it says here, waded into the backyard pool with a family of ducks. Great stuff. Boy, that was a fine series. And had a panic attack on the patio in the same episode. Now, later indoor scenes were mostly filmed on a Silver Cup soundstage. The production crew returned to the Recchia's home year after year for exterior shots. And apparently, let me see, what else? Oh, the Facebook, they have an unofficial Facebook page for the house. And it's had more than 1,200 visits, along with dozens of selfies by grinning fans posed in front of the driveway. When actor James Gandolfini, who seemed like a really nice guy, when James Gandolfini, who played Tony, died suddenly in 2013, fans left flowers, candles, and a bag of dried ziti near the curb. And Mr. Recchia says, we've met a lot of great people. And the series, HBO, considered 150 properties to use as the home, but they finally chose this one out of 150. I wonder how they. I don't know how Hollywood works. I have no idea. But they looked at 150 homes and they finally found this one. And from then on, the Recchia house determined the look of everything. And it also says that their real decor was far more tasteful than the Sopranos had. let me see, for over 6 seasons, the crew used the property somewhere between 30 and 50 times. They declined to say how much they were paid for use of the space. I wonder how much you would be paid by HBO for them shooting a series inside your home. Probably pretty good, I would imagine. Now, the Recchies are selling because their adult son moved out many years ago and they don't need as much space, and they plan to stay in New Jersey, although it doesn't say why. Anyway, because the couple that's Jude, working with the real estate agent, this is a FSBO, for sale by owner. Mr. Recchi is asking qualified bidders to submit offers and proof of funds by June 21st. And if you'd like to make a bid on this thing, you have until June 21st, and you can do that by going to sopranosHouseForSale@gmail.com. So that's how you can make a bid on this house. So it seems with $34,000 in property taxes, it seems a little steep, but that's, I guess, I don't know, maybe people have the money, who knows. Anyway, we're going to take a break, and we will be right back.
New to golf or seasoned veteran, you'll enjoy the casual, relaxed atmosphere of Vanderview Golf Course. 2 miles from downtown Alfred on Waterwells Road, Vanderview is a 9-hole executive-length golf course with a driving range on one side of the road and the course on the other. Family-friendly and fun recreation for everyone. Greens fees are one price for unlimited play, $9.50. High school students, only $5. Children 12 and under with an adult, no charge. You can play up to 18 holes or 9 holes with a cart and get the second 9 holes at no additional charge. Ladies and senior golfers who don't hit the long ball, Vanderview's got the executive length that's just right for your game. And new this year, a season pass for only $100. That's a lot of golfing fun for a very little bit of money. Vanderview Golf Course, 2 miles from downtown Alfred on Waterwells Road. Vanderview Golf Course.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In Game 4 of the NHL Stanley Cup Final, it was the Blues beating the Bruins 4-2. St. Louis was led by Ryan O'Reilly, who had a pair of goals, including the game winner, as St. Louis gets its first ever home win in a Stanley Cup Final game. The series is now tied at 2 games apiece. Game 5 will be Thursday in Boston. It's now a best of 3. NBA playoff news. MRI on Golden State Warriors guard Klay Thompson reveals he has a mild left hamstring strain. He's listed as questionable for Game 3 of the Finals on Wednesday. Teammate Kevon Looney is likely out for the rest of the Finals with a fractured collarbone. In baseball, just 4 games on the schedule. Dodgers defeat the Diamondbacks 3-1. LA's won 6 in a row, and their 42 wins leads the major leagues. Corey Seager provided all the offense for LA with a 3-run homer. Walker Buehler gets the win to improve to 6-1. Cubs over the Angels 8-1. Chicago's a game back of Milwaukee in the NL Central standings. Astros get their American League leading 41st win of the year with a 4-2 win over the Mariners. Manny Machado hit a grand slam leading the Padres over the Phillies 8-2.
From the Fox Business Network, Walmart is expanding its program to help its employees to receive college degrees. The Live Better You initiative allows Walmart workers to study for $1 a day. USA Today says Walmart has added computer science and cybersecurity to the program, and it's added more universities. Also, high school students can receive help with the ACT and SAT college entrance tests. Reports that the government is prepared to investigate multiple big tech companies plunged the NASDAQ into correction territory yesterday, meaning the index slipped 20% below its high. However, the Wall Street Journal says Google is ready for a legal fight and is prepared to show the government it does not hold a monopoly. The Dow closed up 4 yesterday, but the NASDAQ was down 120, S&P lost 7. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
It's happening to you every night. One snores and the other can't sleep. But now, there is a quick and easy-to-use solution, a natural solution. Snore Stop, the #1 selling anti-snoring medicine in the U.S.
Thank you, Snore Stop. You saved my marriage.
It's time to try Snore Stop and make every night a better night for both of you. Spray or tablets are available today at Rite Aid and CVS or online at snorestop.com.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Ford, receive up to $2,500 in Ford trade assistance with your 99 or newer vehicle trade. Now purchase a new 2019 Ford F-150 STX 4x4 Crew Cab equipped with 20-inch alloy wheels and running boards with Ford Trade Assist and Ford Finance Bonus. They're only $33,999. Shop the Simmons Rockwell Ford dealership near you. Simmons-Rockwell.com.
And we're back. Okay, now yesterday I did mention that I was going to find or try to find the menu for the state banquet last night that President Trump attended in Buckingham Palace. And I did. I found it this morning. It was on the Washington Post. And they have a long story about the first day that Trump is spending there in London. But this is the pertinent part. At the banquet on Monday night, Trump, in white tie and tails, called the Queen a great, great woman. And he spoke briefly, praising British bravery and grit in World War II. There was nothing about Brexit or current British politics, but Trump made one reference of self-determination, a theme he stressed when criticizing the European Union and cheering Britain for voting to leave. As the Queen rose to give a toast, Trump appeared to lightly touch her back, with his left hand, as seen on the televised pool feed to reporters. Protocol dictates that one does not touch the Queen, although Michelle Obama famously did and was forgiven. So, okay, in her speech, the Queen said that as we face the new challenges of the 21st century, the anniversary of D-Day reminds us of all of us that our countries have achieved together. Okay? She declared her confidence that, quote, our common values and shared interests will continue to unite us, and concluded by inviting the room to toast the continued friendship between the two countries. Hear, hear. And about 170 guests that took a shot of something or other. They gulped, French wine, English wine, something. Anyway, the palace served English and French wines. Now, here was on the menu. They had steamed filet of halibut with watercress mousse. No, only kidding. It's mousse, of course. Watercress mousse, asparagus spears, and something called chervil or chervil sauce. I hope that isn't gerbil misspelled. That doesn't sound good. It's Chervil. What is chervil? I have no idea. Anyway, and new season Windsor lamb with herb stuffing, spring vegetables, and pork sauce. So that was on the menu at Buckingham Palace last night. And what else have we here? That's right. This is from, where did I get this? I don't know where I got it from. Some New York area newspaper. Animal rights group claims Bronx elephant is a person. The animal rights group that famously tried and failed to get a pair of New York primates the same legal right to freedom as humans has a new client, but the Bronx Zoo's Happy the Elephant. The Non-Human Rights Project announced Tuesday, which was this morning, it is filing a suit against the zoo on behalf of the pachyderm, demanding the recognition of her, quote, legal personhood and fundamental right to bodily liberty, as well as her transfer to an elephant sanctuary. The group argues that the elephant, best known as the first elephant to demonstrate self-recognition in a mirror, is anything but happy, because she's been isolated in captivity for the zoo for 12 years, while the highly intelligent mammals are born to live in packs and roam free. It doesn't matter how you imprison them, any normal elephant wouldn't want to live in the Bronx Zoo, the Non-Human Rights Project founder and president Stephen Wise said at a press conference at the zoo. We understand that she's taken some kind of relationship with her jailers, okay? But that is like you or I being friendly with the prison guards in any jail we're taken to. So Happy is a 47-year-old Asian elephant. It was captured in Thailand as an infant and then first lost her longtime companion, Grumpy, when he was fatally injured by two other elephants in 2002. Then she was paired with another elephant, Sammy, but he died of liver problems in 2006, and she's been alone since then. Now, the Human Rights Project has previously asked the courts to grant personhood to two upstate chimps named Tommy and Kiko, an effort that was most recently shot down by a court in New York. Wise told the Post it's moving on to elephants because it, quote, ran out of chimpanzees in the state of New York. And if there was ever a straight line, I could not think of a better one. So it ran out of chimpanzees in the state of New York and is filing the suit in state Supreme Court in upstate Orleans County because local courts aren't amenable to his arguments. A spokesperson for the Bronx Zoo called the suit ludicrous. So there, I do understand that they're also trying to get driver's licenses for these elephants and possibly voting rights too. I'm not quite sure. I'll check up on that later. Okay, that seems to be the end of the show, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.